Hello, everyone. Hello. Welcome to the last day of the stream, the last day that you will probably see me, all of you together. Some of you have already done your final defense, their final project presentation. Some of you still need to, but essentially at this point, this is the last time I'll be broadcasting to all of you. So just a couple of quick things I wanted to go over before we finish up for the semester, right? First of all, there's 4 things coming due, right? So you have your final project document that's due. You have your final presentation that's due, and you need to upload a copy of the slides. Even after you give the presentation, you need to upload a copy of the slides to the website so that I can put a grade there for you. You need to do you need to upload your final creatives, so your websites and the social media accounts you've created, and you need to upload individually. So all those are team uploads, right? One person per team. But then you also need to upload, for each person needs to upload a peer-reviewed document, right? Explaining how well you thought the rest of your team did and how well you thought you did as a member of the team. So those are all the 4 big documents that are due over the course of the next few days. A couple people have asked, it says on Moodle for everything, I believe this is true, it says that the deadline is the 27th. Is that correct? Right? Yeah. But as I mentioned, some of you won't have final project presentations until next week. So just ignore that deadline if you're one of those people. And go ahead and turn in your final. You can turn in everything next week, right? Whenever your project is due. So feel free to turn things in at those times. Okay. So no worries, no late penalties. Another question I've gotten asked is just about the final project length. Some people are like, oh, it says 10 to 15 pages, but ours is like 25, and this depends upon formatting and things like that. So don't worry too much about the exact length, right? Like if it's I want you to write the best project guidelines you can, the best project plan you can, and whatever length you need to do that is appropriate to me, right? I basically put in the 10 to 15 pages thing just so people don't get overwhelmed and think, oh my gosh, I can't write a 30-page document or whatever, right? And I don't expect a 30-page document. 10 to 15 is more than sufficient, depending upon how you put together everything, right? Let's see. Okay, so that's another question I've had fairly commonly. Trying to think if there's anything else that's come up. I don't think anything else has really come up. Let me check my notes real quick as I'm doing this. Let's see. That's not important. A couple people have emailed me asking about the quantity, right? And honestly, everyone who's emailed me and asked, is this enough quantity? They've actually created more than enough content, right? So don't worry too much about the exact quantity. Like I said, roughly what would be the equivalent of, 10 web pages worth of content is fine, right? I am, and a couple questions have come about this. I think I mentioned this in the previous office hour as well. I am expecting everyone to present. Now, some people thought, well, 25 minutes, is that really enough time for everyone to present? It is, right? We just have one person run the slides, have each person take, 3 to 5 minutes to talk, and you're good, right? That's all you need to do. Project links, right? And that seems like about it in terms of what I've been asked. Oh, there was somebody had a concern about in the final creative upload. They actually wanted to upload a couple of documents. I would prefer as much as possible if you can consolidate all those documents to a PDF, right? Like if you need to do screen caps and then put them in a PDF, that's fine, whatever, right? But to the extent to which you can combine it, and it could be a Word document as well. I don't really care. Actually, Moodle will translate it to a PDF for me. So if you, whatever it is, it'd be nice if it's all in one document, not multiple documents, but there's no requirement. If you absolutely can't get it in like one document, then just shoot me an email with the attachment for the other document, and make sure to make a note in the text box on the turn-in that you shot me that attachment so I can link them all up together. Okay? Hmm. Yeah. And people have asked about the other big thing to mention for all of you in terms of individual assignments is Top Hat, right? And there's been a couple of questions about that. And the way Top Hat works is that all of them are due this week, right? But what I'm expecting is that as long as you have 70% or more on your grade in the Top Hat grade book, right, you will get 100% for your participation, right? So if you look at it and you missed a couple here or there, but you're still over 70%, don't worry, you get 100%. If you get less than 70%, then you get whatever your actual grade is, right? So that's essentially the way it works, right? But assuming you get more than 70%, you should be fine, okay? Trying to see if there's any other questions that have come up. I think that is about it. Okay. So other than the actual turn-ins and all that entails, right? Two other things I wanted to mention to you real quick is just the evaluations, right? So there's obviously the standard course evaluations that the university and the NC State puts together, right? And you can find those anytime by going to go.ncsu.edu/CE survey, course evaluation survey. I believe that will take you directly to a page that will allow you to fill out course evaluations for whatever classes you're involved in. Right? So that's go.ncsu.edu/CE survey. Right. So that's the basic idea for that. And this is all up. If you go to the Moodle, that link is in the locked box of content at the very top of the page. The other thing that I've asked you to do is I do a small little final survey where I just ask you a couple questions about your satisfaction with the class, and I also ask 3 questions. What should I add to the class? What should I take away from the class? And what is the most valuable part of the class that was already there? So that shouldn't take you more than like 5 minutes to fill out, unless you have a lot of thoughts, right? But please go in and fill that out. It definitely helps me keep the class relevant for future students, right? So you're really doing this to kind of pay it forward, right? And I use that information to improve the class. For instance, a lot of the tutorials that you saw this time, like on Wix, Google Analytics, they weren't there last year, and I added them in through the actually the Wix one was there, but the Google Analytics one, Google AdWords, I added them in as a result of requests I had last year. Well, I think looking at my notes, that's about it. It's been an absolute pleasure interacting with all of you over email, over the various teleconferences and the forums, right? And I very much hope that this has been a helpful class for you. Please fill out those evaluations and feedback, and I look forward to seeing all your great documents and all the great work you're going to be doing on your marketing plans. So thank you, everybody, and good luck with all of your future endeavors. Hopefully this class has been helpful, and if it has, right, I ask that, I love it to hear back. I love to hear back. I'm trying to say too much at once. I love to hear back, right, about how your experience is, what tools you're using, ways you think that I could improve the class in the future, right? So please reach out to me. I've been hearing, I hear from students from 8 years ago who are still using some of the materials. So feel free to reach out to me anytime. Always help. It's the reason why I do it, right? So I love to hear about those experiences. If you have any other questions, comments, concerns, feel free to email me, wmrand@ncsu.edu. Otherwise, I look forward to seeing your final projects. Take care, everybody.